So guys, it's that time. More championship score predictions. Let's get predicting. What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. I can only apologise not for uploading too much this week. It's because I've been doing running, raising money for cancer research. If you guys have got a couple of quid on you and you can donate, I'm going to put the link to the donation page in the top link of the description down below. A couple of quid makes a huge difference. But moving on back to championship football, if any one of you got a correct score midweek, your comment will be on the screen right now. I got 2 correct scores, the Bristol City and Wycombe game, and I also got the Brentford and Cardiff game right. This is what Alexa's Hall of Fame looks like now in the Premier League division. It is now a joint lead between myself and Charlie Brown. This is what the Championship Lexus Hall of Fame looks like. Roberto Hollis moving up quite a fair bit. If you guys like what you see, please make sure to give this video a like, tremendously helps. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done. It really made my day. We want to try and get to 500 subscribers before the end of the season. Otherwise, I will quit the platform if we don't achieve it. And please share my channel as well to as many people as you can. That'd really help as well. I also give a quick shout out to Jack BCFC as well, because he has shared my channel so much recently. And if you guys do the same and you send me a screenshot, then I will definitely include your screenshots in future videos. But without any further ado, let's go on and predicting this weekend's games. So we start with potentially the most mouth-watering game this weekend. We've got Bournemouth going up against Brentford. I remember the last time they played against each other, it was a very tight contest where it was Bournemouth that actually took an early lead and then Brentford completed a comeback. The contrast is quite extraordinary now with their positions, because Bournemouth were fading away and Brentford were high in terms of their confidence. But the roles are reversed. Bournemouth now with 6 wins in a row, the most informed team in the Championship, and Brentford just stuttering right now because they've only picked up 1 win in 6. Those other 5 games have come into draws, so they've actually dropped in total 10 points in their last 6 games, which is the very reason why Brentford are not looking likely that they'll get automatically promoted. And especially after this game, if Bournemouth get a good result, I think it will be game over for Brentford. They'll be keeping a close eye on Watford. They'll know a Watford win, then it's impossible for Brentford to get into the top 2. With a prediction in this game, I think it'll be close. I think Bournemouth, just with the performance I saw against Millwall midweek and how flat Brentford looked against Cardiff, I think Bournemouth may take the edge. I'm going to say 2-1 victory to Bournemouth. FIFA 21 is predicting a 0-0 draw. Now, so we've got Barnsley going up against Rotherham. Now, it's a second Yorkshire derby in a row for Barnsley. They managed to edge their Yorkshire rivals away from home against Huddersfield. A Daryl DK bicycle kick, an unbelievable goal. What a signing he's turned out to be when he's joined Barnsley in January, being a huge reason and a catalyst of Barnsley's success this season. Barnsley in a pretty good position actually. If they can just win 1 more game, then they're pretty much secured their top 6 place, unless their form deteriorates. With Rotherham, they're playing for an entirely different reason. They've got to try and survive the season. Poor defeat against Middlesbrough. They took the lead very, very well, but Matt Crooks getting sent off was the very reason why the momentum shifted and Middlesbrough took the all 3 points from them. And I think what's really affected Rotherham is their fatigue. For the fact they've had to play so many games in hand, I think it has affected them. It's not been an easy couple of weeks for Rotherham. With this game, I think it'll be tight. Rotherham have been losing many games with a 1-0 scoreline. So I'm probably going to predict the same thing here. I think Barnsley may have the edge. I'm going to say a 1-0 victory to Barnsley. I think scoring the first goal for Barnsley would be crucial. FIFA 21 is predicting a 2-0 away victory to Rotherham, which I can also see happening. Next up, we've got Blackburn going up against Huddersfield. Now, for me, these teams don't really have too much to play for now. Huddersfield may look at this thinking if they can just get 1 win, they'll definitely secure Championship survival. Their form's not been great, Huddersfield, but I think they've gained themselves enough of a lead compared to the bottom 4 that I don't think they'll be dragged into this. As with Blackburn, they had a great win against Derby, but then they came crashing back down to earth when they did lose second bottom Sheffield Wednesday, and they were really, really toothless. But with this game, I think they're better at Ewood Park. I think it'll be pretty tightly contested, and Huddersfield have got a fantastic record against Blackburn as well. I'm going to say 1-1 draw. I don't think you can really separate the sides. FIFA 20 is predicting a 1-0 victory to Blackburn. Next up to a huge game deciding the relegation battle was Cardiff against Wycombe. Now, Cardiff mathematically cannot get into the top 6. So they wouldn't really be playing with a lot to play for now. But as with Wycombe, their win in midweek against Bristol City, I think has given them a small chance, just a glimmer of hope that they could potentially try and survive the season. They've only lost once in their last 6 games, and they're picking up wins more consistently, 3 wins in their last 5 games. 37 points. You may think this turnaround may be a bit too late for Wycombe to try and survive, but it's definitely not impossible. But away at Cardiff, it won't be easy. And I can even see Wycombe playing a lot of the ball as well. Cardiff will very sit back, try and frustrate Wycombe and potentially hit them on the counter-attack, and they can potentially concede a goal that way. Oh, this is so tough to predict because I could see Wycombe getting a good result, but I can definitely see this being a typical Cardiff performance, seeping the pressure, hitting Wycombe on the break and winning it. I'm going to say a 1-0 victory to Cardiff. I think it'll be very, very tight and cagey. FIFA 21's predicting a 0-0 draw. But either way, if Wycombe lose, they'd have to hope that Derby don't pick up a point in their game. Next up is Coventry going up against Preston. Now, Coventry in their best run of form throughout this season. 3 wins in a row. Unbelievable. 6 goals scored in their last 3 games as well. And this was the side I was critiquing with their lack of goal scoring. And I think having Matty Galton back in their starting 11 has really given his Coventry side a new lease of life. Both teams now, for me, don't really have a lot to play for. In fact, Coventry can overtake Preston if they have a fantastic result. Preston got a very good win in midweek, a 3-0 victory over Derby. They were comprehensively better than Derby. With this game, I don't really know what to expect, to be honest with you. It could be a low-scoring, boring game, or it could be a flurry of goals. I might edge Coventry for the fact they're in a stronger run of form. I'm going to say a 2-0 victory to Coventry. FIFA 21's predicting a 1-1 draw. Now we go to Derby. They play against Birmingham, and this is a relegation 6-pointer for Derby County. Now, Derby, for me, ultimately decide how long the relegation battle lasts till the end of the season. Because Sheffield Wednesday and Wycombe, the last thing they want is Derby to pick up some wins. If Derby win and Wycombe cannot beat Cardiff, then Wycombe will go down. So Wycombe, whilst they play against Cardiff, they'll also be listening out to how Derby do against this Birmingham side. And Derby, really poor run of form, only 1 win in their last 11 matches has put them in this very precarious position. And against Preston, they were all over the place defensively, and definitely their lack of organisation has really been a big blow to them. I know they've got a load of injuries, but if you look at the squad on paper with the attacking quality they have, it should be way too good to be in this position. As with Birmingham, they threw away what was going to be a 1-0 victory, but they conceded a 97-minute penalty against Nottingham Forest. I could see this result being a bit similar to when Derby beat Luton by 2-0, a side with not too much to play for, and Derby may pounce on it. I think Birmingham will make it very, very tough for Derby. I'm going to say a 1-1 draw. FIFA 21 is predicting a 3-0 thrashing of Derby County, which is insane. Next up, we've got Middlesbrough going up against Sheffield Wednesday. Now, Middlesbrough gave Sheffield Wednesday a favour, beating Rotherham by 2-1. It meant Sheffield Wednesday have now matched Rotherham in terms of points despite playing 2 games more. But they have to try and get a result against Middlesbrough. Now, Middlesbrough have been dropping points needlessly. Middlesbrough's win against Rotherham was their first win in 6 games. And with Sheffield Wednesday, you would feel that they need to approach this game the same way with Blackburn as well. But one thing I do fear of Sheffield Wednesday is the amount of chances they didn't manage to take as well. They should have scored way more goals than the 1 goal they did score against Blackburn. If Sheffield Wednesday do take their chances, then I think Sheffield Wednesday may be okay in this game. I'm going to say 2-1 to Sheffield Wednesday to spice up the relegation battle. Why not? I'll throw in a curveball. FIFA 21's predicting a 1-1. Next up, we've got Nottingham Forest going up against Stoke City. Both these sides, I think, once again, don't have too much to play for. Nottingham Forest got a very, very scammy draw against Birmingham. I think they did deserve it in the end. I think Birmingham, whilst they got their 1 goal, did sit back a bit, and Nottingham Forest did push for that equaliser. And fair play to Forest. You know, I wasn't happy at the time for the fact I predicted 1-0 to Birmingham, but they really were determined to get the point, and that never say die attitude is what's going to help Nottingham Forest progress in the future. As with Stoke, they played out a 5-goal thriller against Coventry. It was a game I wasn't expecting to see so many goals, and to lose out in that way as well, where I do think they did have a bit of control as well. Not a great sign really, and I think definitely for having a bit of optimism for next season, Stoke definitely need to show something a bit more than what they are doing right now. They just seem a bit sluggish. I'm going to say a 1-0 victory, and I'm going to give it to Nottingham Forest. I'm a bit more confident, especially that they're at home. FIFA 21's predicting a 2-0 victory to Nottingham Forest. Next up, we've got Queen's Park Rangers going up against Norwich. Queen's Park Rangers on the back of back-to-back wins. Norwich in the hand of back-to-back defeats. For Norwich to be champions, if they win and Watford do not win their game against Millwall, then Norwich will be promoted as champions. We'll see if Norwich can have a bit more of an initiative and a bit more of a performance, knowing that's on the line. They play a Queen's Park Rangers side where they had 2 wins in a row, including a fantastic 1-0 away victory to Swansea. A very tight game, actually, and I think definitely a better game for what it seemed by the scoreline. I'm going to say a 2-1 victory to Queen's Park Rangers. I think Norwich will still continue to be a little bit sluggish. I think they're just taking the intensity a notch down, almost preparing for the next season. FIFA 21 is predicting a 2-0 victory to Queen's Park Rangers, so FIFA and I are thinking quite alike. And speaking of Watford, they play Millwall, and that's the next game to predict. So Watford could lose the opportunity to become champions if Norwich win and they cannot beat Millwall, but they can get automatically promoted if they win against Millwall, and that has to be a must. And it won't be easy. Millwall's not one of these sides that you're almost guaranteed to get a win with, because definitely with their style of play, how organised they are. Although having said that, Millwall have conceded 7 goals in their last 3 games, which is not like the Millwall defence that we are used to really. They had a pretty good performance, I would say, against Brentford, managing to restrict them with their chances. But against this Watford side, I just think they've got a lot more quality in terms of gunning forward. They definitely have got a much better bit of organisation, and we saw that against Norwich as well. They had to be defensively solid, but they also took their chances. They're very, very clinical, and I think that will be the difference. I'm going to say a 1-0 victory to Watford. I think it'll be tight. FIFA 21 is predicting a 1-1 draw for this game. We now go to Sunday's games. We'll start off with Reading going up against Swansea. I guess this is a second mouth-watering game this weekend. And with this game, Reading need to win. They really, really do need to win. If Reading do not better Barnsley's result, then Reading would definitely not be in the top 6 this year. So a lot of pressure on Reading with this game, actually. And as with Swansea, they are within touching distance of not getting automatically promoted. I mean, heck, they'll need to hope that Watford lose all their games and they win all their games to even match their points total. So I think automatic promotion is off the cards for Swansea now. But what they can do is try and get into a good position and secure their top 6 place, which I think they are within only a matter of points of doing. Reading played out 0-0 draw against Luton. It wasn't really a game that was any of importance, really, if I'm going to be honest with you. And as with Swansea, of course, they lost against Queen's Park Rangers as well. They had chances, but they just weren't clinical. This game could be pretty dull if I look at these 2 styles of play. I'm going to say 1-1. I think both these sides will cancel each other out. FIFA 21 is predicting a 1-0 win to Reading. And the final game to predict is Bristol City going up against Luton Town. Bristol City with a very disappointing defeat against Wycombe. They did take the lead from a really good Backinson goal. What an absolute player he's turning out to be this season. But they definitely did give the lead away, and likewise with Birmingham, with Nottingham Forest, they concede a late penalty and Akinfenwa scores against them as well to get his first championship goal. Bristol City, I mean, I don't really back them at home, if I'm going to be honest with you. They're still looking for their first win at home for over 8 matches. 7 defeats in a row previously until they ended that losing streak with a 0-0 draw against Forest. I'm really not too confident. And Luton, of course, they are capable of getting away wins as well. I'm going to say a 2-0 away victory to Luton. FIFA 21 is predicting a 0-0 draw. But that's all my predictions for the championship. If you guys want to have a chance to be on Alexa's Hall of Fame and get a shout out, make sure you comment your predictions in the comments down below. And before we end the video, on the left hand side of the screen right here are my Premier League predictions. They are also valid to get you points on the Alexa's Hall of Fame. Make sure you comment these score predictions before the matches kick off. But that wraps it up for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, please make sure to give this video a like. It's tremendously appreciated. If you haven't done, please subscribe to the channel. It'd really, really make my day. And please share my channel to as many people as you can. That would really, really make my day. But thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are legendary if you saw the end of this video. And as always, take care, everyone.